Hi, my name is Graham and welcome to my YouTube introduction video. This is my first video presentation, so sorry if it's a bit rough and ready. This video is an introduction to my journey from rags to riches, hopefully, in the world of Forex training. This channel is the second part of my trading journal that was started at informedtrades.com, which is a free community for anyone from novice to experienced traders trading in all markets and styles, and is a place to come and learn and share ideas. The first part of my story, my background and education process, is documented in the Informed Trades members' journals I'll show you later. This channel will document my progress from novice trader through to hopefully a full-time trader in time to come. This video is intended to explain what resources I look at each day and how my trading platform is set up and how I make decisions on what to trade. I hope you'll find it useful, and please feel free to post comments. Enjoy. Okay. So what do I look at each day to help my trade decisions? Well, I class myself as a technical trader, which means I look at price action, support and resistance and so on to determine a trade. But it's equally important to have an eye on the fundamentals which can influence a trade decision. So one of the first things I look at each day, and frequently during the day, is my RSS feeds here on iGoogle. This gives me a host of information. This video is actually being produced at the weekend, but you can still get a good idea of the things I look for. So for example, if we just scroll down this page, there are a number of different items here on general stock markets, but there's also specific information from various places on, for example, Forex levels to watch. So that's support and resistance, which is useful in determining where to place trades. There are a number of different items on here, for example, US dollar, yen, which is one of the currencies I look at, and a weekly Forex analysis. I won't open that up now because I'm actually going to have a look at that a little bit later on. Once I've done with that, I take a look at Forex Factory. This is quite a useful site which gives an idea of the major news events that are due in the day and indeed the week ahead. Generally, I will not take a trade within a couple of hours of a major impact news event unless it's a specific trade plan on the back of the news itself. If I'm in a trade and news is due, then I would consider exiting or tightening stops depending on where the trade is at that point in time. Then I'll take a look over at FX Street's technical analysis page, which again has a great deal of information. For example, if we take a look at the US dollar yen page, we can see that there are actually a number of useful pieces of information. Pivot levels, support and resistance levels, an indication of how the technical indicators are bearing up for that particular pair, and then if we click on the US dollar yen technical studies, then this shows us a variety of further information, including the full pivot points, both classic and Camarilla, moving averages, whether they're indicating a buy or a sell, other technicals, RSI, stochastics, MACD, ADX, CCI and ATR, and also gives an indication of candlesticks that are appearing on a 15-minute chart. So there's a whole heap of information here, which is all quite useful information to determine or to help to understand where the trades are going to go. What I then have is a daily FX Plus site, which is an informative resource from my broker FXCM, where I use their market scope charts in a UK spread betting account for tax efficiency. Not that the account is big enough to worry about that just yet, but I'm forward thinking enough to hope that it will be one day. I'll go over the platform shortly, but a small disclaimer here. I chose FXCM as I felt they were right for what I wanted right now. This doesn't mean it would be right for anyone else. If you haven't chosen a broker yet, do your own research before committing to any one broker. In Daily FX Plus, I look at their trading signals. It is the weekend, as I say, so there's no signal showing here in the alerts. But they do have a good track record, as you can see from some of the results down here. But not every trade signaled will be at the right time for me or at the right risk tolerance, so this is used as a heads up and nothing more. What I then look at is the SSI, or Speculative Sentiment Index, which shows what FXCM's traders, or customers rather, are actually trading. I'm still quite new to interpreting this, so maybe this is something that will develop over time. And I will also look at their technical analysis pages, again, which gives me a great idea of trends, movements, and where they think the markets are going to go. They also have a news page and a signal summary, which gives an indication again of where the trades are going from their perspective. It has a technical outlook as well, which also can describe what levels to be looking out for and where the markets are generally going. And lastly, we have informedtrades.com. As I mentioned earlier, this site has been an inspiration to me over the last few months during my first phase as an aspiring trader, and is set up to help traders at all levels through education and interaction between its members. Some of the main features here are, for example, the free courses, which I've just clicked on there. Gives you a wide range of subject matters: beginners courses, advanced courses, US stock market, Forex, options training, and a whole heap of other things. Primarily these videos are created by David Waring, who's the community host, but there are third-party training videos as well. We also have the discussion forum, where there are areas to ask questions, as you can see, traders discussions, or the members journals page. And this really is where you might find my Rags to Riches Part 1 trading journal, should you wish to go and have a look. If you go back to the discussion page, discussion forum, and we trip down, you'll see there are a number of other areas. For example, a news archive, which has free trading videos, third-party trading blogs, trading headlines from around the world, and all of these things can prove useful information as to what's out and about. So we have stock market headlines, Forex market headlines, and futures market headlines, for example. If you've not seen this site yet, I would happily recommend it to you, as it's not only a great place to learn and to start out for a newbie, but it's also good for seasoned traders looking to share ideas. Now let's take a look at the platform and setup. As you can see here, I have 3 charts for any pair I'm looking at. The larger window shows the main 15-minute time frame, which is really where I would use to determine where a trade is likely to present itself and where to place stops and limit orders to take profits. At the top right is a 2-hour chart, which easily helps me to determine the current trend. It also gives me an opportunity to determine major support levels and resistance levels. And then finally in the bottom right is a 5-minute chart, and the 5-minute chart really is used to fine-tune entry and exits if I'm able to monitor a trade, which of course I can't do very well while I'm at work. As you see, each chart has a 21, a 55, a 100 and a 200 period EMA, exponential moving average, which are in part for trend determination, but can quite often become support and resistance in their own right, and I'll show this to you as I develop trades. Each window also has a stochastic indicator set at 1555 overlaid with an RSI 14. I use fairly extreme levels for stochastics, 85 and 15, as I find it helps to filter out false signals, and a more traditional 70 and 30 for overbought and oversold on RSI. Again, I don't use indicators to signal trades as such, but I do use them to confirm my feeling for what price is telling me, and more of this as trades develop. So let's just take a closer look at the dollar yen. As you can see, there are a number of other things on the chart. For example, the lines here, that's actually the weekly pivot level, weekly resistance and weekly support levels. We've had a fairly major move down on which I've done a sort of fib retracement, and we can see quite recently that price has actually topped out almost exactly at the 61.8 fib retracement level, which tends to suggest the pair's on its way down. We also look at a channel which is formed in here, and we can see that if I just zoom in a little bit on that for you, we can see that price is actually broken below that channel, and we've actually got something of a nice head and shoulders here as well, which hopefully will pan out over the weeks to come. So that's pretty much it for this introduction. I hope you found it interesting, and I look forward to sharing my trades over the coming days, weeks and years to come. Please feel free to leave any comments, as ideas are always welcome. Good luck and happy trading.